Hello everyone, welcome to the Two Story World. I'm Sunil Umer, your host, and I'm joined by Joshua Khan from London. As the name suggests, a two-story world, but what happened in Venezuela yesterday, it made it a single-story world. So let's start. Hello Joshua, welcome to the program. How are you?
Hello, Sunil. So nice to be on your channel, and thank you so much for inviting me once again.
So Joshua, let's start. What happened in Venezuela yesterday? First of all, tell me, have you ever had anything like that ever before?
As I said, I have few years more in me than you, and I have never witnessed anything like that. Um, a lot of people say America is a dying empire and China is taking over. And I know some of your family members, very close family member, um, or your immediate family members are tennis players. And in tennis, you just do 2 points here and there, and the whole match has changed. America scored a couple of aces last night or night before. Um, China had huge investments in Venezuela, so has Russia. And these are the three civilizations, or even though it's hard to say call America a civilization, it's a country. These are the three countries which are competing for global dominance at the moment. But America proved that it's still the largest power in economics of the world. It is very shrewd operator, and it's one wing of this country which we call three-letter words. I don't want your video to be censored by YouTube or anyone. That's why I'm calling three-letter agencies. So three-letter agencies worked phenomenally well. Before they did any operation or started any operations, the whole air defense system was shut down in Venezuela. Americans landed on the roof of Maduro's residence. They got in. Apparently, Maduro tried to hide in an iron gate chamber in his residence, but the security forces of the United States were too quick to capture him, and rest is the history. This is also the first ever incidence where a country kidnapped a president of another country.
Shocking, shocking.
This is the first instance where a country very easily, covertly taken over another country. Venezuela, according to President Trump, will not have any other government, but it will be run by American corporate oil sector. They will take over everything. And according to him, that people of Venezuela will be rich, and the country will be rich. Even a question asked in the press conference, what do you think that China and Russia will react, how they will react to it? And he said, we will be selling oil, we will be trading in the world this oil, and we will be recovering from the profits, our losses, which we had for decades or couple of decades or scores of decades. I'm not sure what he meant by that, but that is the very brief story. So yes, it's uniquely once in a lifetime operation, which I've never witnessed before in my 56 years of life.
I'm glad you mentioned Russia and China. Their silence is quite astonishing for the world. As you said, they invested, they have interest there, and Venezuela is kind of a Chinese and Russian ally. What do you think? Why they are so quiet about it?
Sunil, I'll tell you something which you didn't hear anywhere until this moment.
All right.
our viewers or your viewers haven't heard,
All right.
I can tell you that there's some under-table deal done between at least Russia and America.
All right. If I'm understanding you correctly, is it with the relation of Ukraine-Russia deal something to do
It's
with that?
uh, I'm so sad, or it's such a disappointing thing that not all of your viewers they can speak or read Russian nor you,
Mm.
but around 20 years ago, a Russian politician who died during COVID era said, we can, on a televised program, it's a propaganda channel, according to Western media, it's a propaganda channel of Vladimir Slavyov. Um, on that channel, Vladimir Zhirinovsky said, we can swap a lot of things with Americans. America can close an eye what we do in Ukraine, and we can close an eye what America will do with Venezuela.
All right. Okay. That's what's
Exact
said. All right.
words,
All
exact
right.
words. And
Oh.
have you seen any hoopla from China or Russia?
Yeah.
No, you haven't. The
That's
thing
why.
is
That's
that,
why I said it's quite surprising that it happened. But what you just said totally makes sense
I
now.
mean, this is on the record. Anyone can go and look for the certain words. Vladimir Zhinovsky at the in the program of Vladimir Slavyov talking about a trade between Russia and America over Ukraine and Venezuela.
All right. Let's
These
discuss now.
things
All right. Go ahead.
haven't happened
Yeah.
by chance.
True.
There is 100%, in my opinion, there's an understanding between two world powers how they will gonna do things. We ordinary people, you and I, and our viewers and your viewers, they are just thinking that Russia lost another thing, Russia lost this, Syria, Ukraine, Venezuela. No, there was an understanding between both governments.
One very important question, Josh. As you know, that such an operation obviously is not always possible to happen smoothly unless you have some ground support. And lots of people are saying that although obviously Venezuela is a sovereign country and should have never happened, but on the ground, there was opposition against the president. The election in 2024 was badly rigged. His policies were not supported by the people, and obviously, economy wise, because of American influence, of course, the economy was suffering as well. So people were not happy. They're flying other places of the world, moving other places of the world in neighboring countries. And that's why people are saying lots of people came on the street, started celebrating yesterday after this operation. So, do you think that the opposition parties, the lady who won the Nobel Prize recently, she has any chance to come in the power because now people are looking for somebody else?
Maria Carrena Machado is the lady who won the Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
Um, so now let me get to another point. Mr. Trump said Mr. Joe Biden lost the election and he won the election and he has been denied. They say Putin is a tyrant and unelected president. They don't recognize his elections. Uh, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko is a president for last 25, 30 years, but American special envoys are meeting with him at the moment. Sometimes they call him the last dictator of Europe, and now he is in the middle of negotiations with Americans. Iranian government is also not good. Xi Jinping is a tyrant. Um, but Mr. Modi, who is an absolutely a running a Hindu dominant government, and he's against all the minority.
mm,
is acceptable for everyone.
mm,
Um, Let me tell you something. Elections, who won, who lost, no one cares. It's the narratives media tries to make to support their governments. More and more people are distancing themselves from the mainstream media. Just go
yeah,
and ask ChatGPT, ask Google, but more and more people are watching alternative media like yours, your channel, Two Topic World, and all of that. So they can have an alternative view rather than uh, parrots are just
mm,
repeating what masters ask them to repeat. So election has nothing to do with it. A lot of people are leaving UK, a lot of people are leaving India, a lot of people are leaving China, a lot of people are leaving America. Wherever you go, there is a migration. People are moving around. Some places more, some less. But if you choke a country with your sanctions, of course they will move somewhere else. Of course they will move to another country. The thing is that America used its dollar as a weapon. And now
mm.
Marco Rubio, who is the Secretary of State, he is admitting that if we will keep using dollar as a weapon, people will stop using it. And that's what's happening at the moment. That's why they are very, very anxious and very, it's, I hate to say, America is losing its power over the world stage. They haven't won a war in the history of America. They always get themselves into something which they can't keep up with. Afghanistan, Vietnam, Iraq, now
It was a
Venezuela.
unipolar
And
world before, now it's multipolar world. So, do you think it will create some sort of balance?
we had one lion in the jungle, now we have three.
Yeah,
So the smaller animals are now more vulnerable. They
yes,
had
yes.
to deal with one lion, now they have to deal with three. So
Mm.
might is right, and that is the law of jungle, and unfortunately that will be the case. And
So obviously, the worrying bit is that it was happening under the cover of politics and diplomacy, but now it's happening quite openly and quite naked.
exactly, you're absolutely right on this one. But one thing I will tell you, this cannot go forever. At some point, small people, little people like me, will stand up and they will demand justice. Army can fight a war. Army cannot fight the local population of any country. Trust me, this is the hardest bit which Americans learned in Vietnam.
On this note, we'll say goodbye to our viewers and wrap up this program. Thank you very much for your time, Josh, and we'll see you again next week with another two big stories. Would you like
Don't
to say
forget,
anything?
don't forget to ask them to subscribe your wonderful new channel and like the video.
Well, we'll do that. Thank you very much, Josh, for your time. See
Thank
you
you.
next week. You look after
Thank you.
yourself. Take
See you
care,
next week.
viewers. See you later. Bye.
See you later.